Will you call them racist for asking you to behave better? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And after posting my last video about African migrants' families running from Northern Ireland due to racist attacks, my YouTube was flooded by the most racist comments ever. I felt like, should I delete it or what? But some of the comments, however, were really utter nonsense. I couldn't mind. Like, you should go back to Africa, and why did they let lots of you black people into our country? Nonsense. You know, even though there are some racist people, some really make some valid points and they are worth discussion.
Did I just say that? I did just say that. Yep.
For example, they pointed out that ever since the increase in net migration, a lot of people felt like people were not integrating into their way of life. Therefore, crime increased. There was just under 6.74 million crime offenses recorded by the police in England and Wales in 2022 and 2023. And this was the highest figure recorded since 2002 and 2003. That's a huge number. And during the same period, there were like 289,352 crimes in Scotland and a further 111,571 in Northern Ireland. Now, looking at these statistics, we can see that the increase in crime might be attributed to population growth. Like they say, too much of anything can corrupt everything. However, it is important to dig deeper into the numbers. It's easy to blame the migrants for the rise in crime, but is it really that simple? Crime rates can be influenced by a variety of factors, including economic conditions, policing practices, social services, and many other issues. Blaming an entire group of people for complex issues is not only unfair but dangerous. It can lead to increased prejudice, discrimination, and violence against innocent people. Now, one other thing about integration is our inability to behave, especially as immigrants. My sister shared with me this video.
Guys, remember present shit man. Magazala mazimba. Guys, remember present shit man.
Come on, guys. Come on. What is wrong with us? You're here to live by the rules of your host country. Now, just imagine there is a neighbor living next to you and you are such a noisy person. Now, speaking of housing, did you know that the social housing provided by councils and housing associations for people in need is becoming increasingly scarce? In England, housing fell by 120,000, taking the total number of social rented homes below 4 million. Now, as a student of peace, I've learned that many societies become extremely vulnerable when basics like housing become scarce. This leads to violent situations like the one we witnessed last week. Will you call them racist for asking you to behave better in their societies, knowing that housing is very scarce and they need people to occupy their homes, and you are making noise and making all tomfoolery against the local people? Sometimes we cannot claim racism when we are failing to understand how much we give them reason to hate us. Now, last week I saw a post involving a vehicle driven by a Zimbabwean national. The post goes like this: RPU have this vehicle seized in Swindon. Attention drawn as tread plates displayed on the vehicle did not match the front and rear. One set expired in 2023 and the other in 2015. Driver on a Zimbabwean license did not have any insurance. Vehicle and tread plates seized, driver reported. So we illuminated these blue lights, but the driver ignored the large retail park, several side streets with no restrictions, and lay before choosing the zigzag stops.
Come on, man.
This is really bad, ladies and gentlemen. We need to really have this discussion and discuss like adults as people of African descent. This is not correct. We need to abide by the rules of the land. And after that, I saw a comment of a guy who said, any foreign national caught with no license, etc., should be deported back and have a ban on the passport with facial recognition and fingerprints, if they moan about human rights, then the courts should say, what about the human rights of the people's lives that are put in danger? And you know what? Sometimes we expose ourselves to such critics. We lose it all as Africans and start blaming racism and xenophobia. But are we adjusting to the way this side of the world works? And I'm not sure. We need to do better as a people. And this is exactly what is causing Africa to be where it is, what is causing us to leave our nations to go elsewhere. We can't blame racism when we are failing to deal with our own problem and our mentality in a civilized way. Anyways, have you ever heard of the term called ethnicity penalty? Let me guide you through it. Did you know that insurance premiums are higher in minority communities than elsewhere? People of color are still paying £250 more on car insurance per year than white people. And how do we counter these racist policies if we're not making any changes to our behavior? Because let's be honest, if someone is on an insurance, what you're simply doing is you're driving your car with the hope that if anything goes wrong in the roads, the insurance will take over and pay you back, or pay the other person who gets into an accident with you, or give you your car back. But then if they're not really sure about a certain behavior that us as minorities do, they'll get the premiums high. And right now, they're above the roof level. So we need to have a more nuanced conversation about these issues. Instead of pointing fingers, let's look for solutions that promote understanding, integration, and support for all members of our communities. Let us strive to be a society where everyone feels safe and valued regardless of their backgrounds. And you know one thing, no matter how bad racism can be, at the end of the day, everyone bleeds in red. No one cannot be teachable. Some of these things need us to approach with a bit of a kind heart. And thank you for watching this video. If you have any thoughts or comments, please share them below. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more videos like this. Stay safe and stay informed.